This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and down at the Matchroom gym today. Delighted to be joined by the Spider, Craig Richards. Craig, thank you very much for joining me. How are you, first of all?
I'm good, thank you.
That's
Brilliant.
good to hear. Now, everyone's back in the gym today, gym's buzzing, all working towards sort of fight dates or waiting the phone call like yourself.
Yeah.
How long have you been back, and how nice is it to be back with the boys as well, getting back to work?
Been a couple of weeks, I've been back now. You know, I've been ticking over, you know, outside of here, just doing my runs, got a heavy bag at home, just working, you know, but now it's better to be back with the boys, buzzing, picking that work rate up and learning things again and moving forward, you know.
During that lockdown time, a lot of fighters have been sort of having to work on their own and do things on their own and stay self-motivated. How did you find that personally for that few months that you had to sort of pick yourself up and stay busy on your own?
I found it alright. I like what's the word? I like routine. So like I made sure that I had a routine each week. Like, so the first week of lockdown, obviously I was unwell just before the lockdown. I got back into it, and then the week off I took a rest, the first lockdown week, and then I started pushing hard again on my runs and stuff. And then I kind of got a little bit bored, started doing a bit of cycling as well, and then a few bit like circuits and stuff. So, and then I found like that first week or so was on apps and talking and just having fun. And then I got back into routine and got a bit more discipline and started occupying my time a lot better and got into routine really.
Now, boxing is slowly returning. A lot of your stablemates do have sort of dates. A lot of them are on this fight camp schedule that we're going to see in August, just around the corner from here.
Yeah.
With regards to yourself, have you heard anything about a date or any opponents?
I think we're looking probably about September, October probably. I'll be ready for them. Of course, I was waiting on hearing about what's going on with the British. We heard that Mick Hennessy's closed his stuff up behind closed doors and got two of his fighters to fight out for that. And obviously, I keep my mandatory and fight for the winner of that. But in the meantime, you know, we're working and we'll fight or not fight or whatever in the meantime. I just want to get out, get active and keep pushing forward in my career now. I've been a mandatory for the British title for like over a year now. I think I won my final eliminator last June. I've boxed a lot of a lot of boys in the country, top 10 now. So I feel like it's ready to kind of move on to the next stage. So maybe winning that and pushing on might be good or whatever. Obviously got the rankings now in a couple of the governing bodies, IBF, WBA, ranked number 9. So I'm just looking to like push forward in my career now. So I don't really want to be stalemated. I want to keep momentum and keep moving forward.
How frustrating has that time been for you, sort of waiting for that shot at the British, knowing that yes, you would love to win the British title, but ultimately to move on to bigger and better things as well? Has it been frustrating just sort of playing that waiting game?
It's a little bit frustrating because it's like the first 6 months after winning my eliminator was kind of waiting for an opponent. Of course, as I won it, Joshua had it, he's vacated and moved on. And then I was waiting for a dance partner. 6 months later, got one. There was a bit of back and forth going with that. And then obviously then I got ill, and then the whole lockdown happened, all the shows got cancelled. I had obviously recovered and was ready to go. I was waiting on a date, and then you hear the news, and then you just push on really. Now you're just waiting to keep the momentum going really. That's what it is.
With that said, you are looking at a date, but it must be bizarre going into a date knowing that you've got a big domestic fight, possibly months down the line, and waiting to see what happens with regards to that fight. What sort of level opponent are you looking at for that? You know, it must be bizarre trying to match yourself when you're waiting for a bigger fight down the line.
Yeah, it's just like, but you can see I don't really take I ain't really taken any easy fights. If you look on my last few fights, even the one I took on a couple of weeks notice, you had that Chad Sugden, he was fighting on the 21st of December. They asked to fight me on the 19th. I accepted a few weeks to go, so he only got to change his date by 2 days. I had to obviously get back momentum, and I went in. This is a guy who's only had 12, was 11-1, you know, and looking to push on in his career, and I took that in the meantime to wait for my British title shot. So it's not like I'm trying to get, you know, a rubbish guy with a losing record and to just tick over. I'm still taking tough fights. I'm still, you know, trying to push on and keep momentum and be up for the fights and be in competitive fights still. And even that fight didn't really get me up for it, if I'm honest. So I just want to like be in good, decent fights and push on in my career and just keep trying to aim to reach my goals.
You touched on the fight with Chad there. It was an 8-rounder, close fight by all means. You said that you weren't really up for that fight necessarily. When you look back and reflect upon it now, what did you make of your performance in the fight itself?
I knew I wasn't going through the gears. My manager, my trainer was telling me every round, like, why are you not going through your gears? And I was like, in my head, I was thinking, like, I think second or third, I could saw he was like a bit of a bloody mess. His nose was broken. I saw his eyes was closed, and I thought, I know I don't really have to go through my gears. I believe he's going to get stopped at some point. So in my head, I just kind of thought, I'll just tick this off, get the win and go home. And my manager was kind of a bit like, Peter, my trainer, was obviously saying to me at the time, like, stop being complacent, just go out there and get the job done. But in my head I was just thinking, no, the job's going to be done, let's just tick this off and move on. I weren't focused on him, didn't prepare for him even. Like the week before I was still sparring and getting ready for the British title fight, and yeah, I just didn't go through the gears. I felt like I was still winning the fight, I was in control of the fight. I could have obviously made it even like a lot easier, but yeah, that's what I made of it really. I didn't really go through the gears and do what I needed to do. Yeah.
With that said, is that a lesson learned for you? Do you think we're going to see a more mature Craig Richards on the back of that experience, you know, especially when you're going to be in a similar position, having a fight while waiting for that British title shot as well?
Oh, 1,000,000%. I've been really doing a lot of reflection as well, and it's hard because some of my even I look at a lot of my performances, some of them have been hit and miss, some of them I'm just turning up, you can see I'm just coming to do my job, get the win and go home. Sometimes when I've been the underdog and the fights, there's big things at stake, or I'm the underdog, I turn up, I perform, I go and get the job done. You see my capabilities, and I'm improving in the gym, and I don't feel like I feel like I've been waiting for that fight to demonstrate that, but I shouldn't be like that. I should do that every fight. I should be going out there showing the fans how good I am every single time. And I think one thing I reflected on is I need to show everyone how good I am now. I need to stop just being complacent, ticking a register and going home until I get the big fight to show everyone. I need to do that every time to make my mark in the division.
With that said, Craig, Sugden Peters was officially announced today. How do you see that fight playing out? Who do you expect you'll be fighting for the British title?
I don't know. They both got things they do alright. Both got things they don't. He's got the reach. Probably not as tough. Chad's quite tough. Not as probably like more limited on certain things. I'm not sure. I'm not bothered. Whoever it is, I'm happy to take on and go and get the job done.
Now, with regards to yourself, you touched on it earlier in the interview. You are actually world ranked with a couple of governing bodies right now. You said you're also ready to get past the domestic scene once these fights are sort of out the way with. Is that going to be the next focus for you, to keep climbing those rankings beyond the British title?
I believe so, because look, if you think about yourself, look at my division, you look at other divisions, and then you look at the domestic scene. People often have one big domestic fight, maybe for the British, make their mark, and then people are like, all right, they're world level now, he's world level, he's got to push on. Like, I've had like how many four good domestic wins, and I'm still at this level. So I could have pushed on ages ago. It's just the fact that I haven't crowned it by picking up that title. You know, like I could have boxed Jake Bull for it, I could have boxed Sterling for it, I could have boxed, do you know what I'm saying? Even when I boxed for the Southern Area, I'm boxing guys 12-0, 6 KOs, which has probably got like as good a record as the two boys boxing for the British now. And I've boxed guys like that for the Southern Area, so I could have officially used any of them opponents and won the British and moved on. I didn't, so I kind of want to just finish a chapter and then push on, and I believe I just got to now go for the gears in my next performances, show everyone how good I am and show what level I believe I belong at, and go from there.
Just talk about a few things away from yourself, Craig. We'll stay with the sort of light heavyweight theme. We'll stay domestic level first. We were touching on it when we spoke off camera a bit before. There seems to be a huge domestic fight brewing between Callum Johnson and Joshua Buatsi. They sort of look on a collision course for a very big fight down the line. How do you see that fight playing out if it were to take place? And where's that fight won and lost?
It's a very good fight. Very good fight. Two good operators. Both serious operators. Both got decent punch power, and got big pedigrees from amateurs. So stylistically it's a weird fight. You know, they both do different things very well. So it's who can merge and gel their style better. Yeah, so it's a very good fight. That's a good 50-50 fight. A very good fight.
And also, with you sort of working your way up through the governing bodies now, it's an interesting time at light heavyweight. You've got the likes of Bivol, Beterbiev. We don't yet know what Kovalev's going to do. Canelo looks to be going back down. Yeah. Who do you see as the top dog right now at your weight, and why?
I would say Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev, he's a beast of a guy at the moment. He's 15 fights in now, 15 wins, 15 KOs, unified 2 titles, beating the world champions. You know, he beat the guy who beat Don Stevenson and put him in a coma. He went and dropped him three times, and I think stopped him, knocked him out in the end. So for me, having 2 world titles and having the sort of resume he's got at the moment, he'd have to be crowned #1 right now.
Now to talk about all things Matchroom stable, a lot of your guys, as mentioned, a lot of the guys around you have fight dates, a lot of them are in fight camp. We'll start with Ted Cheeseman. He's going to be in there with Sam Eggington, someone who's actually been down in this gym before. By all accounts, it looks a great fight on paper. How do you see the fight playing out stylistically?
I think that Ted will be a bit much for him skill-wise. I believe that Ted's very tough. I think Egerton's assets is grinding people down and be like bullying them. I'm not sure you'll be able to do that with Ted. I don't think you'll be able to do that. Ted's a tough boy, good chin, and he's very strong, very fit, and he's got skills as well. So I believe that Ted should be a bit much for Egerton.
Now in this gym you do have access to a lot of top class sparring between yourselves in and around the weights. You've got the likes of John Ryder, we've seen the Doc in there as well today, yeah. Felix Cash. We'll start with John Ryder. I just spoke to John. A lot of people, you know, felt that he should have been crowned world champion towards the end of last year. How much does that man through there deserve a shot at the world title?
I believe that he at least minimum deserves a shot at the world title. After that performance he put on, everyone wrote him off against Callum Smith, and he went out and delivered that sort of performance. I think there's no way you could slide him back down the ladder and put him in a different category. He showed, a lot of people obviously feel he won the fight, and if you didn't feel like he won the fight for some reason, you can see definitely belonged at that level. So there's no reason why I don't think straight away off the back of that he should be getting a world title shot.
Felix Cash, it's not easy to find an opponent right now. He's got a pretty good one in Jason Wellborn, another good domestic fight that we're going to see over there on Fight Camp. Felix looking to push on a bigger and better thing, sort of in a similar position to yourself. What do you make of that as a fight for him at this stage, coming back, a good opponent after a bit of a layoff? I
think that's a perfect fight for him. You know, Jason Wellborn's mixed it up at all sort of levels. We've seen him cause upsets at domestic level against other Matchroom prospects. You've seen him push on and beat good opposition. You saw him come up short at world level. He just was... It wasn't his tough. He came and he gave it a go. He had the heart for it. He just ability-wise come up short and got hurt later in the fight. So you know that he can mix it. He'll mix it and he'll come and have a go regardless. So at Felix's stage in his career, it will show him where he's at. He goes out there and delivers a good performance and beats Jason Wellborn. You know he's ready to push on for bigger things.
And the man we were just speaking to in there, John Doherty, we believe he's going to be returning as well on Fight Camp. How much of a threat is that man going to be going forward? You see him every day in the gym there, you share rounds of him. Tell me about.
He's very good, he's improved so much, John Doherty. I remember when he first come down to where he's at now, his improvements, every camp, every season, each month, the boy's improving, he's learning, and I believe that he's very fit, he's strong. I think he's very big for his weight at super middleweight as well. I think he's going to be a hard man to beat at super middleweight, and I can't see him losing anytime soon. If he does lose, especially at domestic level, I think he'll comfortably get through domestic level and push on. I think he'll be at British level within no time.
I found it interesting talking to you boys through there about working under Tony and the shock of coming down to the gym first time and seeing just how rigorous that training process is. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what life is like down here at the gym and the work you guys put in as well? Because we were speaking about it off camera there, and it very much sounds like when you first come in it's make or break. Yeah,
it's make or break. It's very tough. Training down here, people just think it's a label. Oh, Matchroom boxing. Trust me, it's serious. The work effort. I've trained at a lot of gyms. You can ask any gym, any person who's trained with me, I'm always like probably the hardest working fighter in the gym. I come down here and it was a reality check. Like, I came here and it was just tough. Every boy is just so fit, they're strong. You get pushed every week. If you're not improving, forget it, because everyone's improving every week. Everyone in every department. So we're starting early mornings till later afternoon, session after session, week after week. And it just gets harder and harder as the weeks go on. So if you look at like everything we've done in terms of our times, everything we've recorded, and you look at our improvements from when each one of us started to where we're at now, it's just dramatic. And we're all getting like fitter and stronger as fighters. And I believe that's why like a lot of the boys from here, it'll be very hard to beat them, because when it comes to conditioning and strength and stuff like that. I think we've got that summed up here, and yeah, we're Matchroom Elite is Matchroom Elite for a reason.
Right, great. Well, the sun's finally come out just as we're about to conclude the interview, so there's a bonus. But thank you very much as always for making the time for Boxing Social. Good luck. I'm sure we'll catch you when you got some official fight.
Thank you as well.